How to judge whether a girl has reached the peak state during intimate behavior? This may be a common question for boys. In a relationship between the sexes, it is very important to understand the feelings of your partner during intimate moments. We must know that intimacy is an important part of a relationship or marriage. If it is handled well, it is like adding fuel to the fire, which can make the relationship between the two parties better and more stable. But if it is not handled well, it may be like a small cut in the relationship. Over time, this cut may become larger and larger, making the relationship between the two people become alienated or even causing bigger problems. Let's talk about some differences between the sexes in intimate behavior. What is sage time? It means that after an intimate behavior, boys have to rest for a while before they can get back into the state. This rest time is sage time. Moreover, the age of boys has an impact on the sage time. For example, a young man around 20 years old may only need about half an hour to recover. But for men over 30, it is not so easy to have sex again after the first time. Let's focus on how to judge whether a girl has reached her peak. There are three key points. The first key point is the change in breathing. When a girl is in an intimate relationship, her breathing will generally become mixed. However, when a girl is close to or has reached her peak, the change in breathing is more obvious. The sound of rapid breathing will become faster and stronger, just like a train accelerating, and it will be very different from usual in a short period of time. Moreover, most girls will breathe heavily at this time, just like running a long distance. This panting is a particularly obvious signal. If a boy sees a girl with this behavior, it is likely that the girl has reached or reached her. Let me give you an example. When Xiao Li was with his girlfriend Xiao Li, Xiao Li noticed that Xiao Li's breathing was getting faster and faster. Although he had heard of this situation before, he had never experienced it personally. But this time he looked carefully and found that Xiao Li was breathing so fast that she began to gasp for air and her eyes were a little blurry, just like she was drunk. As soon as these performances appeared, Xiao Li knew that Xiao Li was about to reach the peak, which further confirmed his judgment. Let's talk about the second key point, which is the change of private part. Girls' private parts will change when they reach the peak. From a physiological point of view, when girls are excited, their private parts will be congested and tightened. Why is this so? This is because during the intimate process, the body will let blood flow to this place, just like refueling this place, which will cause changes in local tissue. This change is not just a physical reaction, it can also reflect the psychological and emotional state. If it is not convenient for boys to look directly at private parts, they can also judge by observing the reactions of relevant parts of the upper body of girls. Because from the perspective of anatomy and physiology, the excitement and congestion of women's private parts are related to the overall reaction of the body, and this change will be reflected in the upper body in some. Finally, the third key point is the contraction movement. Boys who often watch adult videos may notice that girls in the videos will have contraction movements when they reach. In fact, it is the same in real life. When a girl reaches the peak, if a boy is careful, he can feel this contraction movement. If he can't feel it, it may be that the skills are not enough during the intimate process and the girl has not reached that peak state. For example, as with his girlfriend Zhao Ying, Xiao Ying paid special attention to Xiao Ying's physical reaction. When Zhao Ting reached the peak, her body had obvious contraction movements, and Xiao Zhang could feel it whether he felt it with his hands or looked at it with his eyes. And at this time, Xiao Ying's face was flushed and she made that kind of urgent cry. These performances all show that Xiao Ying has reached the peak. In addition to these three key indicators, boys can also observe the overall reaction of girls. If the girl's face is flushed and she makes that kind of urgent cry, it can basically be determined that she has reached the peak. The relationship between the two sexes is similar to cooking. If you can handle intimacy well, it's like making a delicious meal. Both of you will be happy after eating it. The relationship will be as sweet as honey and will continue to heat up. If you don't handle it well, it's like making it unpalatable. Your partner will definitely be dissatisfied after it. Over time, there may be problems with the relationship. So boys have to keep learning, sum up experience, and see how to make their partners feel satisfied and happy in an intimate relationship. In short, in an intimate relationship, if boys want to judge whether a girl has reached the peak, they can observe the three main indicators of breathing changes, changes in private parts, and contraction movements, and then make a comprehensive judgment based on the girl's overall reaction. However, the most important thing is that in a relationship between the sexes, whether it is during intimate behavior or in daily life, you must remain sincere and patient and fully understand the needs and reactions of the other party. Only in this way can the relationship between people be like building a house, which will become stronger and both parties can feel happy and satisfied in this relationship. I have to emphasize here that intimate relationships are particularly private and individual things. Whether it is communication or practice, respect and love must be put first, and we cannot just look at and deal with it mechanically from a physiological. Everyone's feelings and reactions are different. Good communication and understanding are the basis for building a harmonious relationship between the sexes. I hope everyone can have a happy relationship between the sexes. Let's talk about this today.